when you know that everything in your life is going to work together for your good. Listen, I look back on all the things in my life that I thought that should have been a failure, that should have been a failure, that should have been. But when I really analyzed it, I realized those were teaching moments, those were molding moments, those were moving moments. And I realized, had that not happened, I wouldn't have been ready for this moment. Or had that situation not gone on, I wouldn't have been ready to go here. Had I not been able to live at that altitude, I wouldn't have been able to stand at this altitude. So what happened to me, as I look back on all those moments, I don't call them failures. I call them the grace of God, because it had brought me right where I needed to be. I saw Eddie Murphy do his hand at, playing an old woman in the clumps, and I said, okay, I'm gonna try my hand at it, and that's where this character was born. But the power of it, as silly as it is, there's a power in it. Here's the power in it. It was the anesthetic that I used to make people laugh, to get to some very serious subject matter. People found themselves coming into these arenas and laughing really hard. And then I started talking about forgiveness. They're laughing really hard. I started talking about getting over pain and molestation and rape, all the things that are plaguing us as a society that we were ignoring and that weren't getting any attention. So I found that if I can make you laugh, I can use this as a teachable moment. So it became very, very important to me. As much as I don't like doing the character, I realized what it has done for many people. And I got a letter from someone. This is one, I got plenty of them, but this one was really powerful. It's about a woman who said she was going to commit suicide. So she got her kids together and she went to a hotel and she wanted to spend the last day with them. She said, we're going to do whatever you guys want to do. Whatever you want to do, we'll do. And she sent me this letter. This is before Facebook and all these other things. So I get this letter and she's talking about what they wanted to do. They decided they wanted to see a Tyler Perry play. So she went, found one on bootleg. She brought it back to the hotel and they watched it. Yeah, it's all right. And they watched it. But y'all don't buy bootleg. I know. But they watched it, and what happened was, as she was watching it, she started to laugh, and she started to be healed. And she sent me this letter saying, I no longer want to die. I feel like I can live and move on after seeing this play. So, don't give up. I know that sounds simple, but don't give up. If you go to bed with it, and you wake up with it, and you can't shake it, you go get a job and that dream is still in the back of your head. You're working for somebody else, but that dream is still in the back of your head. You're getting up every morning, 5 in the morning, going on somebody else's job. Let me tell you something. Honor that person that you're working for. Listen, because when you're faithful over someone else's, God will give you your own. So make sure you honor the person that you're working for. But at the same time, don't give up. The mantra at my studio is a place where even dreams believe. Because when I think about Joseph, he went through so much before he got into his promise. He was in jail, he got all these things happen to him, but when it got really bad and he gave up or wanted to give up, the dream reminded him that he can go on. So if it's in you and you can't shake it and you dream about it, and when you want to walk away from it, you still dream, that's God telling you to keep going. And if I can tell you anything else, please keep going. There are people whose lives and destiny are tied into you. Don't stop, keep going, no matter what anybody says, you are worth it. And here's the thing about worthy, get to worthy. Whatever you do, get to worthy. What does that mean? Understand that you are worth it. You deserve the good things. If God said it, you deserve it. And he did. His thoughts of you are pure, and he wants to give you a hope. Climb and maintain. Climb and maintain. Climb and maintain. Those dreamers in here who are trying to build a dream, everything seems to be going fine, and all of a sudden you hear something. There's a rumbling. Something is happening that is trying to distract you. You see the knife, you see the wood, you see the fire. You got anxiety. You can't sleep. You're tossing and turning all night long, wondering what is going on. God, what is going on in this moment? What is going on? What is happening right now? I've been there. It's a very difficult place when you know that you've got anxiety all over you. So what do you do with anxiety? You climb and maintain. It's turbulent, you go higher. You climb, you pray, you maintain, you worship. If it's turbulent and there's trouble, go higher. Don't sit there. If the devil is breathing down your neck, he's right where he's supposed to be. First 5 words of this text simply says, and it came to pass, which means whatever you're going through did not come to stay. You're going to be all right. Abraham told his servants, stay here. This is the thing that blew my mind. Stay here. And we're going to go up and worship. But there's a little part of the verse where he says, and we will return to you. Well, Abraham, if you're going up to sacrifice your son, how do you know you're coming back with your son? When you have that kind of trust and that kind of faith in God, I don't care what it looks like, it's going to be all right. There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going. Climb and maintain. Climb and maintain. Climb and maintain. Thank you so much. God bless you.